Good. Okay. Well, good afternoon. I'm Dan Daly, Dean of Libraries at the University of South Dakota. Welcome, faculty, staff, students, and board members. And thank you for joining us as we dedicate a new classroom in honor of Dr. Nettleman and mark a milestone in the history of the Wagner Health Sciences Library. Today, we recognize vision, collaboration, and leadership. The renovation of the Wagner Library is a tribute to each of these traits that are almost commonplace when I think about my colleagues here with me in the new Mary Nettleman classroom. They are not, however, commonplace. Vision, collaboration, leadership, and kindness are not the products of chance. They are traits born out of dedication to students and colleagues, knowledge and truth, and the public whom we serve. Together, the Wagner Board of Directors and the USD Sanford School of Medicine and the university libraries have worked together to bring about the renovation and this brand new classroom. I clearly remember the Board of Directors meeting in the fall of 2018. At that meeting, the directors committed themselves to the ongoing transformation of the Wagner Library, while firmly understanding that students, faculty, and healthcare providers rely upon digital access to medical information. They clearly saw the need for a spacious classroom that would support the medical school. The medical school and the board committed themselves to renovating the library and creating a new classroom. Three of our colleagues who are with us today, Julie Creek, Jana Richardson, both of the School of Medicine, and Shelley Vasick of the Wagner Library, translated the board and the medical school's vision into the wonderful space that we're standing in today. Thank you, Julie, Jana, and Shelley. Before Dr. Dan Heineman steps to the podium, I hope you'll enjoy a brief video tour of the Wagner Library as it was and as it is now. Thank you. Hello, my name is Dan Daly. I'm Dean of Libraries at the University of South Dakota. Welcome to the newly remodeled Wagner Health Sciences Library, which serves University of South Dakota medical students and the region's medical community. The library's new entry is open and inviting. Library users can proceed into the research section or ascend a stairway leading to study spaces and a classroom. Originally opened in 1998, the library's mission has remained the same, but its strategies have evolved. The remodel reflects that evolution. Stacks of periodicals and books have given way to study spaces and technology, and library staff specialize in guiding students and faculty to discover the resources they need. Quiet, private study pods are available throughout the main floor. There's even a treadmill pod. The second floor includes reading chairs, study tables, and private group rooms. Natural light from large windows floods the space. A highlight of the remodeled library is a spacious new classroom on the second floor that is dedicated to former medical school dean, Dr. Mary Nettleman. This classroom and the entire library renovation are a tribute to the medical school and to the Wagner Library's Board of Directors' commitment to providing outstanding medical education and advancing healthcare in South Dakota.
Good afternoon. My name is Dan Heineman, and I'm a member of the Wagner Center Library Board of Directors, and I've been asked to say a few words about the namesake of this wonderful, beautiful new classroom. Rosalind Carter said, "A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they do not want to go, but ought to." February 3rd, or earlier this month, marked the 200th anniversary of the birth of Elizabeth Blackwell, the first woman that we can tell graduating from medical school in the United States. So what an additional fitting tribute to Dr. Nettleman. When Dr. Nettleman came to South Dakota as the dean, I'm sure she did not realize that she was going to get to hone her choreography skills. When you work in a school like the University of South Dakota School of Medicine and the Sanford School of Medicine, and you work in South Dakota, you learn how to dance with a whole bunch of competing interests. And the Wagner Center Library is no different from any of that. All the various healthcare organizations that teach and help students become healthcare providers are part of this Wagner Center coalition. And working that delicate dance to make sure that everybody's happy, everybody's getting what they need, and we're all achieving the goal of providing healthcare clinicians of varying practices and various disciplines through their educational experiences is no easy matter. I also think it's very fitting that this beautiful classroom inside the Wagner Center, which is named after another very innovative and important dean in the School of Medicine, will now be named the Mary Nettleman Classroom. I think it's fitting, and I cannot think of a better tribute for both the classroom and for Dr. Nettleman. So I thank you very much for the opportunity to say a few words, and I would like to invite Adam Bleeker to the stand.
Good afternoon. My name is Adam Bleeker, and I'm a fourth-year medical student at the University of South Dakota, Sanford School of Medicine. It is an enormous honor to represent all four classes as we celebrate Dr. Nettleman's tenure as Dean of the Sanford School of Medicine. Dean Nettleman, on behalf of the entire student body, we would like to congratulate you on the dedication of this amazing space. Additionally, we would like to thank you for your steadfast commitment to medical student education. As I spent time preparing for today's dedication, I reflected on a common theme from my residency interviews. Per custom, at the end of every interview, the interviewer would ask, "What questions do you have for me?" Coming up with thought-provoking questions was a daunting task, but there was always one question that I would always ask, and that was for that interviewer to describe a resident that had succeeded within that program. Often, interviewers would list qualities and characteristics like professional, hardworking, team player, but there was one response that caught my eye. This program director compared the ideal resident to a good camper, always leaving the campsite or residency program in this case better than when they found it. The more I pondered this analogy, I realized that this was not isolated to residency programs, but rather this was a quality of a leader. Dean Nettleman was such a leader. Dean Nettleman lived this mindset. Dean Nettleman gave more than she took, and the Sanford School of Medicine is better as a result of Dr. Nettleman's tenure. 3 years ago, I served as a representative on the 2017 LCME reaccreditation panel. It was the first formal evaluation of the pillar curriculum. During the site visit, an accreditation panelist asked me to describe the educational experience at the University of South Dakota Sanford School of Medicine. I could tell what he was driving at. The pillar model was not traditional. Shortened didactics, a longitudinal integrated clerkship model, OSCEs. Yet I chose to highlight the profound opportunities, collegial atmosphere, and rich academic culture at the University of South Dakota Sanford School of Medicine. In many respects, these attributes are a testament to Dr. Nettleman's selfless leadership. Each day as Dean of the Medical School, Dr. Nettleman prioritized student education. She exemplified the definition of a student advocate. Her unwavering support inspired each student to maximize their educational experience. Because of Dr. Nettleman's heart for medical education and vision for the medical school, the University of South Dakota Sanford School of Medicine has earned national recognition for developing kind and enthusiastic professionals equipped with the skills to serve in their communities of need. Dr. Nettleman always stated that the one downside to being dean of the medical school was that she was unable to directly teach medical students. That's what makes today's dedication so special. Today, Dean Nettleman's wish finally comes true as we dedicate this amazing space for future educational endeavors for students long into the future. So on behalf of the medical student body, thank you, Dr. Nettleman, for your selfless leadership and your vision for the medical school. The Sanford School of Medicine is truly a better place as a result of your leadership. I would like to invite Dr. Ridgway to say a few words.
Thank you, Adam. That was very well said and very well deserved. It was a little less than 2 weeks ago. An alumnus came to visit our school, and he was an alumnus of our 2-year program. And so Kalina Warnke, Nicole Plezak, and myself toured this individual around the Health Sciences building. Interesting. We stopped at the Lauren Amundsen foyer. We talked about how Lauren was such an incredible mentor to this individual and all the things he had done for the School of Medicine. We made our way to our classroom 106, which is now the Bob Talley classroom. We talked about Dr. Talley and the incredible legacy that he left, both as chair of internal medicine and as dean of the medical school. We then worked our way downstairs, the Rodney Perry Simulation Center. We talked about Dr. Perry being a native South Dakotan. We talked about how he carried the school forward. We made our way up toward the Wagner Library, and of course, there's a picture of Dr. Carl Wagner, and we all had a very good laugh talking about the selfless travel that Dr. Wagner did around the state of South Dakota to convert our school from a 2-year program to a 4-year accredited school. So then we couldn't stop. We had to make our way up to the Mary Nettleman classroom. And there was her picture. And we talked about Dr. Nettleman. She came from Michigan State. We were a bunch of South Dakotans. She embraced our culture. She embraced our mission. We had this new curriculum. A lot of us were very concerned. We thought, what's she going to do? Are we going to revert back? No, she took this curriculum and she put everything into it and she made it better. Shortly into getting here, she decided, not on her own accord, I don't think, that she was going to be the chair of the Primary Care Task Force to lead South Dakota toward our mission of primary care. She embraced that with applause. The farm program, class expansion, all under her leadership. One day when we were preparing for our LCME site visit, we had to do a self-study. And part of my section was reviewing all of the pipeline programs, all of the things that we had done to get students, South Dakotans, to move on and deliver health care to South Dakota. And she came to me and she said, Tim, there's a lot here. We need to submit an application for the Spencer Foreman Award. And me being me, think, well, that's a great idea. As she said, all the work was there. Nonetheless, she had the vision. She put this thing together. And we received a national award that literally put the University of South Dakota on the map. In a magazine recently, in South Dakota Magazine, it said she showed us how to shine. She truly did. We were humble South Dakotans. And she showed us that we can be more. And then, of course, her heart was in families. Many of our medical students are married with children, much higher than the national average. And she promoted policies to ensure that they would be cared for, and more importantly, welcomed and demonstrated to them that yes, you can get a medical education and you can have a family. And finally, kindness. She lifted up kindness in everything we do. I think that we in South Dakota always have a kind nature, but by getting it to the forefront, I think made a big difference. So, this alumnus, after hearing all of these things, I mean, it was fun for me. He was proud, demonstrably proud of his school and finding out all of the things that had been done. On the plaque, underneath Dr. Nettleman's picture, I want to read to you what exactly it says. Mary D. Nettleman, MD, MS, MACP classroom. Dr. Mary Nettleman served as Vice President for the University of South Dakota's Division of Health Affairs and Dean of the University of South Dakota Sanford School of Medicine from 2012 to 2020. During Dr. Nettleman's tenure as medical school dean, she expanded class size, pioneered diversity and wellness programs for faculty and students, encouraged faculty to embrace national leadership roles, and enhanced the school's national reputation. Dr. Nettleman championed an innovative kindness initiative for the school, making kindness the central focus of the school's new strategic plan. The Mary D. Nettleman, MD, MS, MACP classroom is dedicated in Dr. Nettleman's name to honor her legacy, dedicated February 24th, 2021. Dr. Nettleman, you believed in us, and I believe she will continue to believe in us. Dr. Nettleman, thank you for all you've done. We'd now like to hear from Dr. Nettleman.
Well, thank you. I'm deeply grateful. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am truly honored to have this magnificent classroom named after me, especially in this space named after one of the most distinguished deans that this school has had. And this school has had several distinguished deans. I'm also very humbled by all these comments. You know that this is a team effort. Everybody who's listening today worked to get this school where it is now. And I could have done nothing without all of your work and support. And I'm especially grateful for the support and unwavering love of my husband, Scott. He made my career possible. He makes my life wonderful. This is truly a gift. So right now, I look at the medical school. I'm very proud of where we are. I'm very proud of the people and the students and all who work here and study here. I also think that the future is very bright. The school has outstanding leadership. It's in excellent hands. There are lots of places to go from here, and I know this school is going places. So I'd just like to close by saying thank you again, and may all those who work and study and gather in this classroom be blessed as I have been. And I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Dr. Ridgway.
I'd like to thank everybody for attending today and to make this day special for Dr. Nettleman and very noteworthy. I also really want to give a special thanks. This medical school functions because of a lot of people, and this is another example. Dr. Jason Chemnitz, Eric Delside, Peter Carrolls all had a huge part in making this such a nice occasion this afternoon. So thank you to all of you for all the tireless work that you do behind the scenes. You do not get the credit you deserve. And I want to just say one final time, thank you, Dr. Nettleman, for everything you've done. We are going to use this classroom. Your name, your spirit will be here forever, and we certainly hope to see you continued in this building. Perhaps you'll even, as Dr. Adam Bleeker said, soon to be Dr. Bleeker, maybe you'll get a chance to lecture to some medical students while we're here. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Have a good afternoon.